Magic in the Morning with Tattoo, and we're 25 minutes away from 9 o'clock, and it's a Tuesday. Well, it is on the calendar. For a lot of you, it's a Monday, like my friend here, Mike Barrett, who joins us Tuesday morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday Tuesday to you, Monday to me, yes.
I hope you enjoyed the weekend. Saturday and Sunday were gorgeous. Yesterday wasn't all that bad.
No, it was a great weekend. Son's in Little League, so he had a game on Saturday and mowed the lawn and hung out, and it was a nice, chill weekend. So.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what life is all about.
Yes.
All right, my friend, what was it last week? I think it was Wednesday. Somebody asked me to ask you a question.
Okay.
All right. And we encourage this, folks, okay? So if you've got an insurance-related question, you can always get in touch with Mike or me. But somebody was asking, we obviously know that you service folks for their automotive, their home, their renters, workers' comp insurance. But they weren't sure if you, at Barrett Insurance Agency, do life insurance.
Good question. I have the answer. Yes.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Yes.
So what do you say we dabble in that? We haven't talked about that in a bit.
We haven't, actually. And life insurance is really, and honestly, I think that if you ever go back and see how we've talked about it before, it's going to be very similar because it's not a ever-changing, hugely dynamic policy type, right? Think about it. Homeowner, auto. Think of all the perils that you're looking to insure for with those. Now, when you look at life insurance, there's only one peril, and it's a pretty definitive one, and it's called death, which makes it a relatively morbid conversation when you're talking about life insurance. But, there are people out there who believe it's not necessary, and that's completely fine. There are people out there who want to have that level of feeling of knowing that they have protection for their family. With life insurance, the biggest thing to think about is, why do you think you need it? That is the first and foremost thought with life insurance. You're not buying it because somebody says you should have it. Why do you think you need it?
Pick me.
Go ahead.
I know the answer to this.
Oh, there's a million answers, so you could be right many times over.
Well, the old saying is nobody gets out of this thing called life alive. All right, we know that. So when the inevitable does happen, that insurance isn't going to benefit you one bit, but it is, and this is why I said pick me, It is for those that you leave behind.
Correct. You're absolutely correct, and that is a definite answer. You're looking to give those who you leave behind the ability, in many cases, and this is just one of the many reasons for life insurance, but this was my reason, is I have life insurance because my son and my wife have a lifestyle. And I'm not saying it's a lavish lifestyle, but it's a lifestyle that they're used to that is because I exist. And I'm a breadwinner as well as my wife. We're double breadwinners through the agency. But we're used to a certain level of living in terms of my son being able to have the opportunity, if he so desires, to go to college, for my wife to continue living in our house because there's a mortgage on it, for the building that we bought for the agency. The list I have could go on and on. So that's why I got life insurance, because if I die tomorrow, I don't want my wife to wonder if she can still live in our house. I don't want her to wonder if she can still run the agency and stay in the building we're in. I don't want my son to go, well, Mom, I'm not going to go to college because we just simply can't afford it now that Dad's gone. I don't want that conversation to happen. I want them to feel like they can make those choices and live their life that way. It's going to be devastating enough when I'm gone. So let's try to soften the impact, right? So that's a great reason to get life insurance. But there's so many more. One of the biggest ones I see, Jeff, when people think about getting life insurance is they have not necessarily directly, but even indirectly been impacted by somebody passing away and there being no life insurance in place. So now they're seeing the family having to figure out funeral expenses and end-of-life care costs and all these different things that can come up. There's many insurance policies out there. I even have term policies that will offer, if you're terminally ill, you can dip into your life insurance to help pay some of those costs. And yes, it will lower your ultimate death benefit at the end, but it'll help cover some of those costs. So you're really helping prevent some level of financial crippling to your loved ones as a result of your condition and your ultimate passing. But there's also great reasons to buy life insurance for your kids or your grandkids. The biggest problem with life insurance is people think about it too late. And I'm talking in their 30s too late. Life insurance is based on death. So they go off mortality tables. The mortality table is a lot more favorable for that person who's under 20 years of age than it would be for somebody who's my age, which is 49. So as a result, where I could be paying $3,000 or $4,000 a year for a certain level of life insurance, that same policy with the same riders, if you want to go that far, and which I could dive into in a second, it might cost somebody younger $200 a year, $300 a year, and it will stay that way because the rate you get's based on the rate you start with. People don't think about that. If you get life insurance and you're 12 years old and your parents bought it for you and you maintain that for the rest of your life, that premium doesn't change as long as you continue paying it.
I was going to ask you if it was like, how Vermont Fish and Game has the lifetime fishing licenses?
Uh-huh.
It's one price that you pay up to a certain child's age. And
Yep.
you just led into me not having to ask that question. Parents can get this for their kids at a young age, and they're locked in as long as they maintain it.
As long as they maintain it. And many of those policies have built-in options where you can, without having to prove insurability, that you can increase the limited death benefit coverage at certain ages, up to 4 times with many companies. So maybe at the age of 21, you can increase it by another 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever the choice is that's made when the policy is begun. You'll pay more. You'll pay more based on your age at that time of getting the higher limit. There's no proof of medical eligibility, which means you could now have a chronic condition. You could now have had cancer, have had many other things that could otherwise adversely impact your ability to get it. But because you have that, you're not going to have to prove medical ability to increase your coverage.
Well, Mike, back early on in your explanation here of life insurance and the reasons to get it, you used a key word, and it's a common denominator in all of our weekly chats, conversation. So, in relations to life insurance, with your significant other, have the conversation if you don't have it now to be prepared. It's kind of like one of the conversations that they have at what they call the death cafes.
Yeah.
But if you don't have it and you want to get the most out of it, for those that you're going to leave behind, have a conversation with your agent.
Absolutely. And you can give us a call, and we're happy to discuss it. Believe me, I start at the fundamentals and work our way, because we've even gone to a point where I look at somebody and go, really? Do you really think you still need this? Because that's how we are. We're not just trying to offer this if they don't need it. But you can give us a call, 748-5224. Visit our website, thebarrettagency.com. Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency.
I think that was a perfectly timed conversation, Mike. Very good timing.
Happy to provide some insight.
All right. Good Policies of Magic in the morning every Tuesday at 8:35. Andy Grammer's coming your way.